Hello again, friends and fans. You return as I've returned to Wargame European Escalation, and it's time to move on to the Soviet campaign. A little bit of a civil war, a little bit of a dispute and unrest, and I guess an uprising going on here in Poland as we go on to Dabrowski's Mazurka. All right, so that obviously is the Polish national anthem. Poland is not yet lost is the name of the first mission. Starting in 1981 here, another mission taking place in December, 252nd Guards Motor Rifle Regiment. We're going to go ahead and play as them first as we continue on playing through the remainder of the campaigns here. And by the way, your support, absolutely fantastic, greatly appreciated, and we'll continue on with more Wargame European Escalation. Here's the units we're starting with, just a quick overview. Looks like we've got some pretty capable units here, BMP 685s, T-55s, T-62s. Well, looks like a lot of the main Soviet battle tanks as well, some capable infantry as well, motor streliki, a lot of good ATGMs and AA, and some heavy artillery and anti-aircraft as well, some track-based AA as well. All right, so we'll get into it. Here we go. Here's the mission briefing. Again, don't forget to tell a friend, and your support, fantastic, better than ever. Here we go.
August 1980. General strike in the shipyards of Gdansk. Creation of Free Trade Union Solidarnosc. October 18, 1981. General Jaruzelski becomes head of the Polish Communist Party. December 13, 1981. Jaruzelski imposes martial law. Lech Walesa is arrested. December 15, 1981. The miners in Katowice go on strike to protest against martial law. Jaruzelski sends the army and the dreaded Zomo militia. December 16, 1981. As the militia is about to shoot the strikers, soldiers make common cause with the miners. December 17, 1981. Within days, the mutiny spreads throughout most of the Polish army ranks. The Soviet occupation forces associated with the Jaruzelski regime are attacked by the mutineers. The announcement that part of the LWP had been rallied to the rebellion brought the population out on the street. The people are up in arms. Soviet forces in Poland, as well as the elements of the LWP that remained loyal to General Jaruzelski, are scattered and disorganized. Attacked in their quarters throughout the territory, these elements decide to regroup and send armed columns to rescue isolated pockets of resistance. Loyalists have fallen back on Leonid sector, but they won't hold there for long. Rebel units have been deployed along our axis of advance to prevent the link-up. Time is clearly playing against us. We'll have to cut our way as fast as possible.
All right, with that speed means we're going to bleed. We're going to take some losses here as we try to quickly link up with the Polish loyalists against the uprising. We've got some very elite Soviet units here, but one of the most important things to do is immediately to get our forces into cover and prepare for an enemy assault coming down the road. Mi-24s are going to be on station for this, as well as some BMP 685s, which are extremely accurate, and we're going to have a lot of enemy units to cut down, so we have to make sure that takes top priority. Earlier recon reveals that Acacia artillery can engage some troops here in the barn, so we're going to target that as well. Topaz or Oscar Grouch, they're coming towards us. We're going to grab a T-80 as well, as we need a heavy hitter against the enemy. And we're going to grab some more helicopters to link up with those troops that are just north of us here, all the way through Boris, past Constantine to Leonid. The enemy's going to start hitting them hard, but we need to get to them before 10 minutes elapses. And it looks like the Mi-24s are starting to take hits, so time for us to pull back a bit. Friendly Mi-24s are arriving. These Topazes are going to be everywhere. In addition to that, we're going to probably want to call out some TO-50 or T-55 AMs, as they're a better variant, to guard this road to make sure they don't get to us from Dmitry. Points are limited, though. The harder we push, the better it is for us. and artillery continues to pummel that position on the left. In the meantime, we're going to advance with some more tanks. I think probably T-72s would be good, as they have some good armor, but we could also bring up T-64As, which have a great autoloader and are quick to fire. Some of that infantry in the barn already killed. SU-122-54 is approaching 15 points from that. Pekotas Mech are coming up as well. Apologies on the mispronunciations, but that's the way it's going to be. We're going to cut through all of this enemy assault, and then once they're done, we're going to immediately push up to Boris and take over that position for the extra points. Enemy's going to be everywhere. T-55AM's doing a real good job of cutting down that infantry. Mi-24As have also done a great job as well. Alright, let's advance with our tanks. We're going to go on the highway quickly and get up there. Alright, so the Polish uprising. Obviously the Poles are in a state of civil war, and it's up to us to try to defeat the uprising, and we've got plenty of units against us here and elsewhere as well. They're going to be along, of course, our whole axis of attack, and even if we were able to kill all those units and take over all those commands, we still have to rush. We're getting low on time. Each infantry group here, by the way, costs 25 points, so we're going to at least wait until we have 50 and see if we can help out those Mi-24s, get some more troops loaded. We're going to send those Mi-24s north to link up. It looks like an ATGM was just flying out of the woods there. I'm not too sure. Going to get recon unit up first instead. Let's do that. We actually have finally enough points for that. We'll take this FOB and send the Mi-24s north. We've also got some Scots that are trying to flank there at Dimitri. Let's go ahead and hit them right away. Mi-2 is up. We'll bring up that UAZ as well to secure the position here. T-80 will be on defense. 685s will move up, and 64A will move up as well. We're going to capture that FOB in just a moment. We'll take the right route instead. Scots there kind of they're observing what we're doing, the observation of those advances, and it looks like they've called up a command and some other units as well. Akatsia is going to be put on a new job targeting those units if they want to advance, and we're hitting some infantry that's out in the open. Looks like the Mi-24s have chosen to engage that instead. 685s are now hitting units here with their good accuracy, though they're becoming worried and shaken. Going to advance and bring up the helicopters. Actually, scratch that. We're just going to resupply instead. We now have the advantage of owning these FOBs, and we'll bring up our Mi-2. Really dumb to leave the UAZ out in the open like that, but it was much better to put it back there in the start than to actually leave it out in the open back here or back at base. The extra points will be extremely important. Mi-24As, we're going to wait a little bit and build up before we actually attack. Once we make contact with Leonid, that's when the main attack is going to begin, and thus the enemy is going to be most ferocious. And we have to make sure that doesn't happen. Enemy's starting to rout here. Looks like their command's retreating as well. Let's move up. Let's bring that artillery up as well. Akatsia doing a much better job now of being up here towards this FOB. Let's just take the main highway. Enemy forces will probably try to advance through Dimitri in a moment. And there's obviously Scots and such there that are proving that to be true. Good. T-64A moving up to level 3. Very capable unit now. We need infantry, we need a lot, but we do not have the points to do it. Jot would be a great position to take, but take note and jot this down. We can't exactly move there since the enemy is everywhere in front of us. These bridges are all probably lying in wait with infantry on the other side, so we have to be very cautious. This bridge here looks like it to be more capable to cross without damage as it's further away. By the way, up in the north, or up in the top here, Soviet embassy has been besieged in Warsaw, Polish garrison mutiny in Krakow. So there's obviously a lot going on here, and we got to continue with our advance. Akatsia already, we're going to bring up another UAZ soon enough. Perhaps we can capture Constantine, but Jot would be much better. We can do that later, but again, once we link up with Leonid, the hell's going to rain down on them, and it's not going to be too good for us. Looks like Malyukas are coming out of the woodwork. Let's go ahead and pin them down immediately. Get that Akatsia over here. Get the T-80 on security. Actually, he's probably best right there. 685s are ready to go, and 64A will move up as well. Mi-24As are starting to lock them down. Jot has been taken by the enemy. Malyuka down. Now that they've been stunned, we may as well go out there with the 685s and tell the Mi-24s to go north. Looks like Malyukas are advancing in the north as well. Let's go ahead and hit those units instead. Excellent. 685's on target. Perfect. Alright, so with all these small units the enemy's going to bring, rocket pods are good to stun them and lock them down. Going to try to bring up some more tanks, though. These are maybe a little too light at the moment. We've got 6 frontal armor on those, 5 frontal armor on the 64As. We've got a lot more of these, and we could also bring up a... Let's see, we could bring up a BM, or we can bring up an 80. Probably best to bring up the 80s, as they have a better survivability. Let's go ahead and do that. 60... Look at these OT-64s just getting all the way up to the 64s. Or to the 24As, rather. 64A in a blocking position now. Let's go ahead and just head up north. We actually might link up. Well, let's link up now. It's a good time to do so. Malyukas are not stopping. They're panicked. They're probably fleeing the area. Time for us to advance with our troops now. And let's bring up this 80 as well. Supply units here reinforcing the Acacia. Let's go ahead and bombard the hell out of Jot. We could possibly capture it later and or kill a command. That may reduce their points. We had 2 minutes and 30 seconds to get to those troops now. We're reinforcing them. Mi-24s are going to have to land and resupply. Artillery's coming in from Boris. We've got Ural trucks that can support the 64As on their advance. Let's stay a hell away from these forests, or these villages, rather. Alright, we can bring up another UAZ, but it's going to be a little bit of time. Mi-2s are not spotting any units there, but I don't trust that at all. Recon gives you false senses of security. BMP 685s, though, are moving. There it is. Get the hell away from them. Exactly as I thought. A false report from the Mi-2. Let's bring these units up again. Conqueror's now under our control. Let's pull them back. Alright, now we got to reorganize the defense around here. Let's pull back anything that's valuable, put everything that's good up on the line. 64B would be good on the line. We've got, let's see, ATGM firing units here. Get them up on the line. ZSUs up on the line. Get some of these troops hidden. Survivability is important here. Strelaz. Actually, we could probably have them come all the way back here. Mi-24s are securing. ZSU 57 destroyed. These are not going to be my units being lost now. It's going to be enemy units that are just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Excellent. One unit destroyed there. Let's get up to that FOB as soon as possible. We took out the rest of those units there. T-80s are blocking. Let's get up another T-80. We can actually bring up 2 in just a moment. Let's go ahead and do that instead. Conquerors are firing. It looks like the main attack is beginning. We need our we could probably get our artillery up here. Let's go ahead and do that. The door is open. Now it's time to kind of kick it down and keep it down while we advance. Very difficult to do this. BMPs are heading to the FOB. Mi-2's not spotting any enemies at the moment. The southern section is going to be more secure. Oh, wait a minute. We got artillery coming in from the enemy. Get off that line. Hopefully we don't take any losses of important units, including AA and ATGMs. Looks like a huge attack's beginning. Gonna need to get our helicopters up here and deal with that. Block the bridge. Objective coming in now from command to destroy that enemy artillery. Obviously extremely important. Trying to tell these guys to target these, there we are, all that infantry and all those troops. Conquerors are getting a little closer. Our tanks have arrived. Let's get all these guys up here. They're starting to cross. It's an absolute nightmare for those guys. Let's see if we can hit them from here. Oh, what the hell, Mi-24s? Those are going to go down because of their incompetence. Damn it, I told them to target the infantry and not fly in. Luckily, they have a little bit more armor than the NATO helicopters, so they may actually survive. Almost a total loss there because of that. T-80 actually going to come back and block these other advancing vehicles, and Akasias are going to be caught out in the open. Luckily we have those T-80s coming, so it's going to be a matter of time. We've got infantry firing back at our own. We're holding the position as best we can. October BMP 1970 is getting a little too close for comfort. Just stay right there and shoot them. T-64As is taking some side shots. It's got a fuel leak. Strelars are coming back to base now. It's going to be enemy helicopters around for sure. Us losing some infantry there. T-55s are on the advance. Akasi are kind of caught out in the open. They're close enough at least to provide this kind of a corrected shot. Let's go for it. Better than nothing, though. It won't be accurate. T-80s are coming up now. Excellent. Look at this. We can block them. We've got this extra T-80 here. There's going to be 3 T-80s from the south plus 1 up the north. They're between a rock and a hard place. BMP 685s are dealing out the damage now. Prakota Smerch can go ahead and just lure their fire. Looks like they're also advancing with T-55s along the road. T-64A is getting repaired. The attack along the bridge has been halted for now. Enemy aircraft spotted. Let's get Strela up. 24Ds there. We're losing Conqueror's group, unfortunately. A lot of tanks trying to go for our BRDM and the 2U in the rear here. Mi-24s are ready to stop that. T-80s have arrived. Let's go ahead and start engaging. Cracking skulls now. T-80s on the line. Pakota Smerch are doing a good job of drawing fire. They're not actually doing much damage to them at all. T-34 85s don't stand a chance against those units. We're holding, believe it or not. Time for some more choppers. Wow, look at all that. Holy shit. Yeah, we're gonna need some choppers down here right away. Though we're almost out of ammunition at every fob. Let's go ahead and send these ones back down. UAZ was destroyed. Back at base. Some BS that these T-55s weren't able to just destroy these Scots. As I predicted, though, they're gonna just drive around with transports like that. Good thing we have the extra command vehicle there, though. Not a huge loss at all. So look at this. With all the BMPs and the light transports, they're able to just push our lines with what seems to be an endless number of units. And we're going to go ahead and bring up our artillery and everything else and get into there now as we defend for the last couple of 8 minutes now. Strelas are close enough to destroy Mi-24Ds. We're going to get into the woods a little bit more now. Strelas are critical ammunition. Bring that supply truck up to these guys. Speaking of supplies, let's bring some of those other ones up from the FOB in the south. And they're trying to get behind us now with T-34s. They were going for the artillery. We luckily blocked them. Let's get those 2 T-80s across. Let's make this area a little bit more secure. Our aircraft are on the way. We've got helicopters that are on the way. These 2 are going to be great for taking out that artillery at Olga. We can probably sneak around enemy air defenses. They're probably going to be relatively light, so we're going to call up more helicopters. These Mi-24As arriving at the right time. Come on, crack those bastard skulls. Pakota Smetch are going to go ahead and cover down here. We've got a F.A.Q group trying to advance, but they're going to get cracked. T-80 is going to need some supplies. I don't know why these Pakota Smetch are routing. They're not doing anything at all. Meanwhile, this one T-34 is still taking hits. Still taking hits. Fire control malfunction, that might be actually it. Alright, where's our recon helicopter? Did we lose that from earlier? We may have lost our earlier recon helicopter, which is, oh, there he is. Good, our approaching helicopters now can move up and take that down. And we've got some supply trucks that are going to need to come up here now that they're full. Haul ass up to Constantine. We've secured the position better than it was, but don't rest assured just yet. It's going to be a lot more enemy action in just a moment or two. T-80's been repaired here. Conquerors are safe away from the enemy. I'm going to go ahead and put them closer to the river just in case anything tries to cross. Motor Streliki are blocking. BMP-1s are ready to roll. Everything's low ammunition, if anything. It's going to probably be an attack from Pole. We could go up and take Jot now, but again, a ton of Scots to take out now. We're going to move left now with our helicopters and try to lock down at Olga. Perhaps we could even take out the command there and stop those reinforcements from coming through at all. Those Scots are thinking twice now. We need some better vehicles to take care of all these these vehicles they keep calling out. Let's actually bring up, we could actually bring up T-55s. More of these AMs would be much better. I'm going to bring these up and get more guns on the field. Mi-24 trying to engage infantry there. Just hold. No enemy aircraft, no enemy AA spotted yet, so that's good. And Mi-24A is getting ready to engage here. All these transports can just be pinned down. They're coming in again in the north. Let's go ahead and stop that advance. Gonna need some supplies up here, you can tell. Mi-2 is very low. M2 is low on fuel, but we can keep it in the rear, enemy's rear, to resupply, or rather to get eyes on what they're trying to do. And I was actually, next thing I was thinking of was resupply. So we've got Euro trucks speeding on through. That alerts just units taking damage. Okay, we're doing real good pinning them down. Supply trucks breaking through. Destroy enemy artillery is finished. It looks like the enemy artillery was spotted in here in Olga. They must have killed it with the 30mm. Nice work. A lot of enemy units pushing through now. Got to get through with those Urals. Mi-24s are taking some hits. Time to back off with those. I can see artillery's ready to rock. May as well start hitting them out in the open. They're going to meet the fury of BMPs and 685s. Unfortunately, these two Mi-24s are probably going to bite the dust as they refuse to move. They're not able to as much. We've got T-55 friendlies approaching from the south. Artillery's ready to rock. Our own losing a Mi-24P there, a big loss actually due to the immediate spam from the enemy, and a Strela there. Big loss. We did find the enemy command though. We may as well go for that shit now. They just called that out, obviously. If we would have crushed that command a second earlier, we would have we would have fared a little better. All those tanks immediately being liquidated. So the enemy spam showing to be quite effective in killing a couple of very valuable helicopters, which are going to be missed, I suppose, but not completely destroyed. Though now they're going to just meet a wall of AA anyway. Let's get these supplies up here for Conquerors and such. Friendly artillery now firing. We've got the AMs approaching from the south. It's going to be a little too late for the enemy to do much about that. Pakota Smech are in a perfect position to ambush T-55s and ZSUs. T-80s are in a good position to engage as well. These T-80s are out of ammunition. And a UAZ from Boris has now been lost, probably due to roaming around Scots. This is a really horrible mission for these kinds of things, where you got to babysit everything from just like little transports that are driving around. It is difficult to do so, and we're starting to take ridiculous losses now from artillery and insta-act such. Apparently, an operating base has been captured by the enemy too. They just again, one Smerch probably, or not Smerch, but Scott drove into to Boris, so it's not too big of a deal. So biggest losses here was the derp helicopter thing, where the enemy just spawned a bunch of AA out of nowhere and took down a couple of our helicopters, just like RKO. And we've got Mi-24s here that are damaged. Luckily, our ones up here though survived, and we're just low on supplies at the moment. Look at all that AA just firing, trying to kill one. There we are. Finally, that helicopter going down. I think those were Malyukas there. Yep. Go ahead and engage those. Mi-24A's been destroyed now. I don't know where the hell the rest of these A's are, but we got to keep them back. They must have hit one from here. Instead of taking any more losses on these, that's where they're coming from, I think. Instead of taking any more losses with these, it's time to get back off the line and preserve these. We've got 4 of them to go. We did lose 2 Mi-24Ps, which is a tragic, huge loss at the start. But then again, those kinds of units are only lost due to something like that. Really, that's the only reason they get lost. There's enemy units firing at us from the woods. T-34s coming in. T-80s are out of ammunition. We really need to get some supply trucks down here, though. The supply trucks that we did send up have been completely depleted. It's kind of dangerous to send units here now, as, yep, of course, they're pushing on through with their BS spam. And look at that. How do they know where that command is? It's like they know it's right there. Interesting how they're just driving straight to it, isn't it? Yeah. Same BS from the previous games. Anyway, we did find those units. We'll push back up there and see if we can capture that sector. Get our units some more experience. Mi-24Ps are ready on spawn support then. And the enemy's not having a good time pushing through here at Constantine. We've got just less than a minute to go now. T-72s are getting engaged by our tanks here. We've got 2 T-80s in the woods. The bridge is just completely blocked by enemy scrap. And that's pretty good. So aside from the helicopter losses, which, you know, again, were a little derpy, Olga at least has been eliminated. The command there has been neutralized. That's going to make us have a little better time here. So a lot of infantry losses. I mean, the attack started quite quickly, so we were really lucky to have survived and saved all of these units at least. Conquerors are very important here. In exchange for 2 helicopters, that's pretty good. The Soviet forces are very much dependent on these highly mobile units, but they're really only used in when you know, are in the open fields and have line of sight and such. And in defensive situations is pretty good, though being offensive with those units can be less than ideal. Alright, so I think we're off to a pretty damn good start here. We've got to defend for just 11 extra seconds, and it looks like we just got to defend. That should be all the objectives. By the way, they are to reach the Loyalists before they fall, defend Leonid for 8 extra seconds, reach the Loyalists within, it was a total of 10 minutes, and destroy enemy artillery, which we did with those helicopters. So, all in all, just another brick in the communist wall. That's it for that. Defend Leonid for 0 minutes. That's it. Time is up. And Mr. Narrator, what do you have to say about this skirmish here? What do you have to? What's your commentary?
After the initial element of surprise, the power of the Soviet military reverses the situation quickly.
Quite literally. So Leonid was able to hold. We kind of got cut off there by some wandering Scots, which are just amazingly effective in their high numbers like that. But that is a victory. Let's go ahead and take a look at the BMP kills. Look at that, just the Topaz and the Scots just everywhere. T-55, BMP-1s from the Loyalists, ZSUs, T-55s, Mi-24As getting a lot of kills. Again, BMP-685 extremely effective with that high rate of fire. And the artillery even taking down a command. T-80 big kills there. Wow, look at that. Just these units just wrecking it. Amazing. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our losses as soon as we get through all the enemy casualties. My God. All right, so it looks like, again, some of these units I didn't call out. PT-71s. I don't know about these Mi-24Ds. Were these on my side? I believe so. Actually, I'm not sure. Oh, it's on the left, actually. So we lost, you know, ZSUs weren't my choice, nor were the, we lost a couple of UAZ due to continuous attacks. Mi-24A, so 2 Mi-24As, 2 Mi-24Ps. The Ps are something a little bit to be concerned with. At least we didn't lose them all. And UAZs, no problem there. So mostly those being the biggest losses and the conquerors, so that's it. Experience acquired, though, is immense. That's going to be huge. That's going to translate into a lot in the next round. And look at this, Strelas. That's what you want right there. Combat level 5 for that. AMs, very good units. AMs and T-55s. We're going to keep rolling with this combination. And I will see you guys next time as we keep rolling here, because Poland is not yet lost. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye. And thanks for all your support.